What is happening, everybody? So, Dodge's releasing the Demon. Cool, but what the hell is that thing? So far, all we've been shown is a few spy shots and a really weird commercial. And what I want to talk about is some of the rumors that have been coming out, give you my opinions of the car, and basically just kind of run through what we know so far. And at the time of this video, it's, I don't know, middle of January 2017, so we really won't know anything specifically probably until April, which I believe is when that car is going to be hitting the New York show. So what do we know so far? Well, we know it's a Challenger, and the rumors are that it's going to be an all-wheel drive, higher horsepower version of the existing Hellcat. But that's all we really know right now. So let's kind of just break that down, at least as far as what we know about the platform and about some of the rumors about the engine. First of all-wheel drive. Well, that's kind of cool. Already, Mopar has not really released it, but it's common knowledge that the Trackhawk is going to be available at the end of 2017. What the Trackhawk is it's a Hellcat version of the Cherokee. Basically, it's an all-wheel drive Hellcat engine Jeep Cherokee. Sounds pretty interesting, and at least we know that the architecture is already there in terms of driveline to be able to handle that kind of power. We also know that it's got a little bit different body treatment. It's got wider fenders for apparently some wider wheels that are going to be going underneath this thing. And aside from that, we really don't know anything. But let's look at this thing a little bit deeper, and let's just kind of talk about what it could be or what it could not be. See, first of all, if it's going to be sharing the driveline with the Trackhawk, there might be a chance that it's going to be automatic only. The reason why I'm kind of speculating on that, a couple of reasons. One, it's tough to get that 6-speed strong enough to be able to handle hard launches in all-wheel drive. And I know that there's plenty of guys out there running slicks, but there's a big difference between running slicks and an all-wheel drive platform. It's just a lot more load. So developing a clutch that's going to be able to handle what's rumored to be anywhere from 750 to 850 horsepower is going to be difficult. And although it's not impossible, because they already have that architecture in place with the Trackhawk, more than likely it might only be automatic only. And the other reason for it being automatic only is if you look at the sales of the Hellcat, the majority of the Hellcats being sold right now are automatics. So take those two things into account. I don't know. Again, we're just kind of spitballing here, but who knows? Details don't come out for a while, and this is about the only thing we can do to chat about it. So let's move on to the next point. Here's something else that we do know. It's going to be heavier. I don't know by how much, but if you take a look at the existing Challenger, like my SRT, it tips the scales at just around 4,200 pounds. Already no lightweight. The Hellcat is going to come in about 200 pounds heavier than my car at about 4,400 pounds. Now, take that car, add an all-wheel drive system, little bit larger wheels and tires, you kind of get the picture here. I'm starting to think that that car might be tipping the scales just as it sits on the ground, somewhere around 4,700 pounds. It's a good reason to only have an automatic in the thing. It's going to take one hell of a clutch to get that kind of mass out of its own way without burning up. So, but that's a lot of weight. We also know that it is so far only marketed to be in the Challenger, and that would also make sense as well, considering that Hellcat Chargers are kind of a rare breed. Significantly more rare than a Hellcat Challenger for sure. So that's all we know at this point. But since that's all we really know, I figured I'd give you guys some of my opinions, at least in terms of what they're doing as far as releasing that Demon. And first of all, let's look at it from a Hellcat owner's point of view. If you had gone out and bought a Hellcat thinking that you just drove out the driveway with Mopar's fit and finest, only to find out, I don't know, say 6 months later, that they've got this thing showing up to the party, I'd be a little bit pissed off. But the breeds always evolve, and you gotta face it, you didn't expect that Hellcat to be top of the breed for too long, did you? Here's something else to consider though. If you look at it from just an exit strategy for the Challenger. You got to figure that, again, it's kind of rumored that the Challenger and the V8 platform, at least for the 6.4s, is going to be going away after 2018. And releasing an all-wheel drive, who knows how much power it's going to have. It's a pretty cool send-off if you're going to be sending off your Challenger as a platform. But the idea, I don't know, it kind of strikes me as a little bit, I don't know, it's almost in bad taste in a way. And the reason why I say that is it's not a muscle car anymore. Muscle cars aren't all-wheel drive, if allegedly. Muscle cars are front engine, rear drive. They do muscle car things. Well, the argument to that is that your new Demon is going to be able to do those things in all conditions. It's supposedly going to handle better, accelerate better, probably stop better, but at a significant weight penalty. So again, not so sure if all those upgrades are going to translate into huge numbers at the track, but it won't take too many people too long to figure out that all-wheel drive is a whole lot easier to hook up than just rear-wheel drive, and you'll probably be seeing some sick times coming out of these cars, provided that people can afford them. See, the problem also is that nobody's been releasing any cost data on this thing. And I can only imagine that if a walking around price on a Hellcat is going to be around 75 grand, this thing's probably going to come in about 20 grand or so more than a normal Hellcat. So now you're looking at almost $100,000 for a Challenger. I don't know, man. Maybe, maybe not. That's up to the buyer to decide. But again, you know, you roll around in a Hellcat only to pull up next to a Demon. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it just kind of puts a weird taste in your mouth. Another thing about that Demon that I got a problem with is in the name. Look, you had the Dart, which was already poised to be the next SRT4. You could have hot rodded that, thrown the name Demon on it, and it would have made sense, because back in the day, Demons were, it was just like a different trim level for a Dart. Now, you're going to put the name Demon on your top of the line two-door muscle car? Damn, you could have called it something cool. You already got the Hellcat. Why not the Hellhound? Why not something cool? Demon? Come on, man. Resurrecting that name for a Challenger? Well, I guess you already did burn through TA and RT, and there weren't too many other Challengers out there. You put Hemi on everything that you make, so that was already taken. What, Twister didn't want to have anything to do with that? Anyway, sorry, getting off topic. But the thing is I don't know, it just seems like there's a little bit lost in marketing there. A little bit of history that wasn't quite, maybe the due diligence wasn't properly done there. But since we don't know a whole lot about the car, kind of get back on topic here, since we don't know a whole lot about the car, and we can only speculate based on what we know so far, the all-wheel drive platform is viable in that the Trackhawk already is going to be an all-wheel drive, almost said Hellhound, Hellcat platform. So at least that's viable. We're pretty sure it's going to get a bump in power. We know it's got some body work that's going to be going on the car to accommodate larger wheels and tires. But aside from that, it's pure speculation at this point. I just hope they get it right. I'm a little bit concerned about how the Hellcat owners are going to feel just knowing that Big Brother just got trumped by new Big Brother, but I don't know. I don't own a Hellcat, so I don't have a dog in that fight. So, post up your comments. Let me know what you guys think about that new Demon. Let me know if it's even something you would consider. I will say this. No matter how good that car is, and let's say that that car was priced somewhere around the price of a Hellcat, just for the sake of argument, I would still have an incredibly difficult time relinquishing the keys to my SRT to go out and get a Demon. And the reason why I say that is, although the car's not been released yet, there's so much speculation out, and everything that we were just chatting about before would not be enough to make me want to make the switch over to it. Yeah, it might be better in every empirical way, but empirical is not why you buy these cars. You buy them for the feeling, you buy them for the nostalgia, and you buy them for just the overall sense of owning something that is really an American throwback. And an all-wheel drive pony car, unless you're Ken Block and doing cool stuff, hooning around on, videos around the internet, yeah, you can't really recreate that with a production car. So, at any rate, post up what you think's going on with that thing. I'd love to hear your opinions. Adios.